Welcome to Chapter 7 of Grammar Fundamentals for the PSAT. This is Lesson 44 on clauses. Up to now, we've built sentences word by word. Now we'll look at the bigger building blocks sentences are made of, starting with the most important one of all, the main clause. Let's begin with the word itself. A clause is a group of words that has its own subject and its own verb. Take this tiny one. Thunder rumbled. Thunder is the subject, the thing we're talking about, and rumbled is its verb, what it does. A subject teamed with its verb, that pair is a clause. So whenever you spot a subject and a verb working together, you found a clause. Now the star of today's lesson, the main clause. A main clause is a clause that expresses a complete thought, so it can stand all by itself as a full sentence. The cabin creaked. That's it, nothing missing. We hear a subject, the cabin, and its verb, creaked, and the idea feels finished. Every sentence you write needs at least one main clause, because a main clause is what makes a complete thought. Here's where it gets useful. When you join two main clauses together, you get a compound sentence. Listen, thunder rumbled and the windows rattled. That's two complete thoughts, each one a main clause that could stand alone, now linked into a single sentence. You join them two main ways, with a comma plus a little word like and, or but, or with a semicolon all by itself. Two main clauses, one compound sentence. One thing to keep straight, a clause is not the same as a phrase. A clause always has a subject-verb pair, like the windows rattled. A phrase is just a group of words with no subject and verb working together, like during the storm. During the storm has no one doing anything, so it's a phrase, not a clause. The test is simple. Find a subject teamed with a verb, and you've got a clause. If there's no such pair, it's only a phrase. In this first set, decide whether each sentence is simple, with one main clause, or compound, with two main clauses joined together. Count the complete thoughts. Pause and try each one before I answer. Earth's surface seems calm, but its interior seethes with energy. The first part, Earth's surface seems calm, is a complete thought. The second part, its interior seethes with energy, is another. Two main clauses, joined by a comma and the word but. So the answer is compound. Pressure and heat melt the solid rock. The subject is doubled up, pressure and heat, but there's still just one verb, melt, and only one complete thought. A compound subject does not make a compound sentence, so the answer is simple. Some volcanoes erupt with power, others are far gentler. On the left, some volcanoes erupt with power, a complete thought. On the right, others are far gentler, another complete thought. A semicolon joins the two main clauses, so the answer is compound. Now we'll switch gears. For each group of words, decide whether it's a clause with its own subject and verb, or just a phrase with no subject-verb pair. Pause and try each one. The volcano erupted. Is there a subject teamed with a verb? Yes. Volcano is the subject, and erupted is what it did. A subject plus its verb makes a clause, so the answer is clause. After the loud eruption. Look for a subject doing something. There isn't one. Nobody is acting here. These words only point to a time. With no subject-verb pair, it can't be a clause, so the answer is phrase. Lava covered the village. Is there a subject with a verb? Yes, lava is the subject, and covered is the verb telling what it did. That subject-verb pair makes it a clause, so the answer is clause. Let's wrap up. A clause is a group of words with its own subject and verb, and a phrase has no subject-verb pair. The most important kind is the main clause. It expresses a complete thought, so it can stand alone as a sentence, and every sentence needs at least one. Join two main clauses with a comma and a conjunction, or with a semicolon, and you've built a compound sentence. Find the subject-verb pairs, and you'll always know what you're looking at. Great work, and welcome to Chapter 7.